Kitty again. I'm an acupuncturist in Philadelphia. And I got started with Amega because I heard from a colleague, and this colleague I have high respect for. She actually eliminated my son's Tourette syndrome with alternative healthcare allergy elimination. Yeah, and wow was right. It changed our lives completely. I then started to work with her in her office. I then became an acupuncturist so I could learn these techniques that healed both of my children. Actually had severe neurological issues. They're 18 and 20 now, and they're doing well, both in college. So that was pretty amazing. So when I got a group email from her explaining the types of results, the doctors that I knew, and doctors like me, I'm not a doctor, but people that I know were getting these amazing results. I was on the phone with her right away. I ordered my wand on the phone right away. She then sent me to the Wand the World live blood cell analysis, and I called her back, and I signed up both of my children, and I ordered. They had the same wand deal: buy two, get two free. I bought two. I did that for both of my children. So I then didn't have anything in the mail yet, but I was getting 7 wands. So what I did was I just passed these wands around to my colleagues, and then the rest has been history from there.
Awesome. Thank you. Sure.
Hi everyone, I'm Dr. Ray Jin. I actually used to be a former research molecular biologist, so very grounded in science, but I got my chiropractic physician degree about 12 years ago. I've been practiced 12 years, but I also do many different techniques. I'm actually doing quantum neurology, I do functional medicine, I work on autoimmune disease, thyroid issues, very complex chronic things, but I've known Dr. Cohn for over 15 years now, and he has just always turned me on to the greatest things out there in our healing profession. And so I was sitting with him one day, and he just handed me his bracelet. I'm going, what are you handing me? He goes, go ahead and bend forward. And I bent forward, and I'd never been very flexible, and I was like almost 8 inches farther forward than I normally was. And then I gave it back to him. I tried it again, and I couldn't bend forward. And I'm going, wow, there's got to be something to this. So I got a wand, I took it back to the office, started playing around with it, and lo and behold, oh my God, it's just one of those amazing things, because I think most of the doctors here get the same thing. We are shown every product by our patients that you can imagine, water and juices and things like that, and there's just usually nothing that can really stand up to the test. And when one does, it just opens your eyes and is like, this is the real deal. So I started talking and telling all my my colleagues. That's where I started, and it's just been a fantastic ride so far.
Awesome.
Hello.
Hi.
Hello, I'm Dr. Tobias.
Hello.
I was trained as an internist.
Right there. Beautiful.
I was trained as an internist and started medical practice in 1959. I joined the alternative health care movement in the early 70s while I was trying to recover from my acute adrenal exhaustion bouts. And by the 80s, I became a holistic practitioner while recovering from my own cancer of the uterus. And how did I get started with Amega? I was practicing with Joseph as my co-founder, and I was more than 2 months to end my practice for the second time. I was in retirement, but I came into practice for the second time. And it so happened that I wanted to ask him something in a room where Arun was with him. And when I went to the room, I saw Arun doing wanding on 2 pills. And I said, what are you doing? And Arun said, I just tested him with these pills and he got weak. And in my presence, he was retested with the same pills and he got strong. And that's it. And I told him, I said, I need to know everything. Now you have to tell me what I have to do, what I have to have. And I picked his brains. after that, what is the other question?
The other question. And, well, actually, that's great. And if we forget where we're the other, enrolled in your story. I think you answered it. It's just, what was your initial exposure? And a little bit about your background was the question.
My background?
Your background. Now, you have an extensive background. Now, Dr. Tobias has a quite extensive background. I actually have pages of it right here. Took 3 pages of printing. There's a nice, beautiful picture of you right there. And even if I would read it, it might take up half the panel. So if you wanted to maybe summarize some of the things that you've done, would you want to take a few seconds and do that?
Well, first of all, I have to start by saying that when I came into training in America, I came to America in 1954 for my training. And while I was training, I made myself sick because of the training that I had to undergo. And my thyroid started getting dysfunctional. And then I married and had my first child. And then I came with this Japanese disease called Hashimoto's disease. It is an acute thyroiditis. And 4 years later, I came down with diabetes. And the following year, I had my acute adrenal exhaustion. But in spite of that, I am driven. And I have to keep looking for things. And I really didn't know what I was doing. I thought I was drifting. And finally, I started taking care of people with weight problem. That was my specialty in the early 70s. And then I was exposed to all this alternative health movement. And after I joined this movement, and I started adding these practices in my care of patients, and I had to store all these supplements in my office, because when I tell people that I want them to go to the pharmacy to get the products, they would come back still sick because they haven't received the products. And I finally decided I had to keep an inventory of these nutraceuticals in my office. And that's how we started going into this alternative care. And I found out that there is a solution in nature that is going to take care of all our health problems.
Awesome. All right. Thank you. Thank you. Dr. George.
Hello everyone, I'm Dr. George Gonzalez. I'm the founder of Quantum Neurology. It's an advanced neurological rehabilitation system. I found out through Amega from our good friend Dr. Cohn here, and he called me up one day and said, basically, you got to check this out. You know, I ignored his emails. He emailed me like 10, 15 times about this, and he finally just called. He says, you won't believe what I'm seeing, and you need to see this. And I have a lot of respect for Dr. Cohn, as I know everybody here does. And with that, I said, well, with his sincerity and urgency, I drove about 2 hours out of my way to meet Sam for the first time and to watch him wanting somebody. Now, just a little insight, if you haven't heard, I use light therapy, so that's what we used in the clinic. So the concept of using something that's not touching the body wasn't foreign to us. But seeing it as not emitting a light, that was something interesting. So, but when I saw him doing it, I saw the woman on stage getting well in front of our eyes. You know, I borrowed a wand from somebody and I started doing neurological tests on the person next to me. And I just do this stuff all the time. And then when I realized, wow, we're seeing immediate neurological changes. And again, just grabbing the device and being able to do that, that's not a common thing. So we started exploring the technology. I introduced it to my top practitioners around the country. And you know, the story goes on from there. I could talk for hours about this, and I know we're limited on time. So, but that's how I started out, and we've been running with this ever since. Mr. Arun invited Dr. Cohn and I to Singapore, and that's where we We met the leadership of the company and the people from around the world, the leadership from around the world. An amazing, amazing experience. And I'm so proud to be here and part of Amega. It's truly a life-changing experience.
Truly.
Thank you, Dr. Gonzalez. And just real brief, if you weren't here yesterday, my exposure, Jason Barreco, patient brought into my office. I didn't really understand what it was, what I could do with it. And it was amazing to watch Dr. George and his doctors, because Dr. George sent these out to many of his doctors with no instruction. I mean, purposefully with no instruction, not even like, do this. And they were calling him up with these most amazing, to stay in compliance. I can't really say, but let's suffice it to say, miracles across the board with little to no information about how to use this. And just to help you guys, because a lot of people are very, not everybody has a different level of skepticism. When I first saw this industry, it took 7 months for me to even return a phone call. So definitely, although some of the docs you'll hear tonight took to it right away, and I've met some docs in the audience too that there's a phenomenal body of doctors. I hope you network and meet everybody that's in the group today. I've met so many. They are, some are just all in right off the bat. They felt it, they held it up, someone saw it, it's the most amazing thing, it's what I've been looking for my whole life. Others still haven't even signed up yet, are still sitting here, like, I'll check out that doctor panel. So, you know what, it's all good. Everybody's just where they're at. So, that, on dovetailing to that, a lot of times people want to say, we'll jump around on the questions just with time.
Well, one of the first things I would send them to, and this is what I basically do with my doctor friends, is I send them to a website called Dr. Talk, T-A-L-K, on zeropoint.com. It's a call that we started, or Jason started probably about 8 months ago, and it's a bunch of doctors from around the country, from all disciplines, medical doctors, acupuncturists, natural healthcare doctors, and we talk about the stories that we see, and they're quite phenomenal. So that's the first starting point, and then I just try and talk to them what interests them. I mean, different doctors have different needs, they have different wants. Biggest thing I say is, you know what, if you want to really help people, this is the greatest tool for you. And then the great thing is, you can help more people than you can ever imagine, and it's a self-care tool, and it's going to make you look great as a doctor. And I think every doctor wants to look great to their patients, so I would say that's the biggest thing that you can probably throw their way.
Hi. A lot of doctors, unfortunately, I deal mainly with chiropractors, and we all want to help people. That's why we got into this. I definitely didn't get into acupuncture for the money, although it's made me a fabulous career. Some people, some doctors, I think have a fear of, well, if I get everybody better, then they're going to stop coming to see me. Right. So, and what I found is I get people better faster with the wand. I train them what to do at home with the wand. I do palpation in my office to find where the stagnant energy is, the stagnant liver energy. And I'll just do the wand 30 seconds down the chakra points. When I come back, that energy is moving. And they feel it because it hurt before and it doesn't hurt now. And because of that, and because I'm empowering them at home to be able to treat